Alright. Clean this table out now. And so anyway, and this might be the part of the video you guys can't hear me as well, so I'm gonna try and use my outside voice. I should probably never mind. Maybe I should invest in like a little shirt microphone thing. Like, you know, like y'all know, like the little microphones that clip on your shirt, and then like when you're walking around, it makes it easier for people to hear you. Anyway, so I apologize in advance if you guys can't really hear what I'm saying. Anyway, here, tell you what, I'm gonna close this door. There we go. Anyway. Oh, hey, Jewel. Or an Alto. Or, wait, what is this? Oh, hey, look at that. I found a little vape thingamabobber. Oh, it's dead. Fuck. Anyway. So, since I can't remember where I was at with that whole Timothy Chalamet thing. Oh, right. Now I remember. So, like, where I was going with that whole Timothy Chalamet thing was that, like, I'm not sure, like, whether, or, like, I'm sure, but I'm not sure whether I should want to be the big, strong dude, or if I should be, like, the skinny, lanky, pixie-looking Timothy Chalamet dude. Like, you know, I'm really not 100% sure about that. Oh, hold on. Sorry, y'all, hold on. For fuck's sake. I'm really not 100% sure about that. About who, or like what I should look like, rather. Because at the end of the day, like, I know like a lot of women complain about like the beauty standard and whatnot. And about how beauty standards in this day and age are incredibly unrealistic. And yes, they are in fact. And that's why with every like girl that I talk to about this issue, like my ex-girlfriend had this problem, and a lot of girls who I talk to have this problem, I tell them, stay off of social media. Don't compare what these girls on social media look like to yourself, because it's gonna be like not fair, you know? It's a fucking unfair fight. And especially when you look at people like Kim Kardashian and fucking like all the Kardashians, they've all been fucking like genetically enhanced. like honestly, like they are on the level of like supervillains, the way that they've been genetically modified. But and so I tell that to all the girls I come in contact with. I say, don't compare yourself to them because it's unrealistic. And I think that's where like a lot of like the body like not body dysmorphia, but well, yeah, kind of body dysmorphia, like body, or here, what's the word? Guys, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the insecurities that surround your body. I think that's where like a lot of that shit comes from, is from comparing yourself to supermodels. And like what a lot of girls, or like women, aren't really aware of is that guys feel this too. Like guys have this insane body dysmorphia sometimes. Like me personally, man, I have it. Like look, man, I look at pictures of fucking Noel Diesel or Diesel or fucking however you pronounce his name. He's a fitness guy on YouTube and TikTok. I think he lives in like South Africa or something, but he's a white guy. He's incredibly jacked. He is so fucking massive. I was like, I don't even know like where to even begin with like describing his fucking body mass. He's a fucking unit, bro. He's he's literally what I want to look like. But of course, I did some more digging, and then I found out that, well, like, fuck, I say like fucking digging. I didn't have to do any research. He came out and fucking said this by himself. He's not natural. He used like steroids and PEDs and whatnot. And which I commend him for saying that out loud. That he's not natural, that he's and that he is in fact enhanced. Like a fucking lab rat. Because there's a lot of fitness YouTubers and people out there who claim that they're natural when they're really not. Oh man. Whose fucking shirt is this? Oh, man, I just fucking turned it inside out. You ever fucking do that? You think the shirt's inside out? Like, you think the shirt's inside out, so you switch it, and then it was actually right the entire time. That's my roommate's shirt. I'll be back. Oh, here, tell you what. I'm just gonna fucking... There you go. Anyways, fuck, where was I? Oh, yeah. But what I'm trying to say with the whole, like, Noel thing, which, by the way, Noel, I love your videos. It's not like a diss at all. But, like, and by the way, like, it's not just him. Like, whenever I go on social media and I see people like Noel Diesel, or fucking Diesel, and I see a lot of other guys who just look just incredibly fucking jacked, like absolute fucking chads, like absolute fucking units, like fucking, like, just genetically enhanced monsters. You know, like, I see a lot of guys, and they look so great, like, I'm like, top 10 physique, fucking great. And it makes me feel really bad about my body because I'm nowhere near on the level that they are. And, but then I remember that, like, a lot of those guys, and a lot of people who are in the bodybuilding sport in general, they fucking use steroids. So that's what you gotta, like, remember about that. But it's not just like body dysmorphia that I'm talking about. It's about like who you are as a person, kind of. Like, I would almost call it like personality dysmorphia, if I'm being honest. Like, personality dysmorphia. Like, you're not sure if you should be like the cool guy, you're not sure if you should be outgoing or if you should be more humble and more reserved. And I've tried both. I've tried being humble and more reserved in the past and, like, only really choosing, like, to speak whenever you really have something to say and shit like that. I've tried that, and then I've also tried and then I've also tried I've tried what I'm currently doing is, what I've done is that now I talk a lot more, I engage with my friends and my roommates a lot more, and I'm not so reserved and I'm not so introverted now when I used to be quite introverted. But, like, it's not that I don't know what to do, because I think that I know how I should act. Am I recording? Yeah, I am. But I do feel like I think that I've kind of found who I'm supposed to be. I do think that even though I did kind of enjoy being more introverted and, like, being more reserved, I do think that at the end of the day, I do enjoy talking to people more. So I think that's how I'm supposed to be. But the thing is that I feel like a lot of men out there don't really know who they're supposed to be, if that makes sense. Here. Like, I feel like a lot of men... Oh man, this camera angle makes me seem like I'm really short. Guys, I'm like 6'1", I'm not short. Here, I'll tell you what. Boom, there you go. That's not good. It's fine. Like, I feel like a lot of men... Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty much done. Tell me that doesn't look clean. I still got dishes, but I gotta wait on that. That looks pretty fucking good to me. Anyway, we're coming up on the end of the video here, and where I want to end this off at. Boom. But where I want to end this off at is that, like, I don't have the whole personality dysmorphia thing or that, like, I think I know who I'm supposed to be and who I want to be, and I also know the work I have to put in to, in fact, like, get to where I want to be. So that's not lost on me. I think that I'm fine, and I think that I fully understand where I'm supposed to go. But I think the issue, like I just said, is that there's a lot of men out there who are my age or maybe younger or maybe slightly older who and it's especially like Gen Z or maybe even like millennials to a certain degree, but I think it's especially like Gen Z. They like we aren't really sure who we're supposed to be right now. And I think that's kind of what's been plaguing us, is that we don't know if we should be like our parents, or we don't know if we should try and go our own way and be something else entirely. And basically that's what it boils down to, is that if we should follow the more like, if we should follow more traditional roles as men, like strong, masculine, up there with a deep voice and a square jaw and like no tolerance for bullshit, or if we should like go the whole like Timothée Chalamet route, who obviously like he doesn't have the whole like traditionally masculine thing going on for him. He doesn't do that. He does something completely different, which by the way, that works for him, and so he should continue doing that because he's found something that works for him. And so I think that's fine. But at the end of the day, I think I kind of want to say what I've learned. And what I've learned is that you should not be afraid to be whoever you want to be. Like, just because somebody looks at you weird and looks at you sideways, that does not mean that you should stop what you're doing and try to be a new person just because people don't like the current version of you. Now obviously there's a limit to that, you know, like if you're being an asshole to people and people don't like that, then you should probably do some psychedelic drugs and just look at yourself in the mirror for a long period of time and just try and figure out why you're so rude to people. Like, that's what you should probably do. But that's the limit. But apart from that, just because you're receiving criticism from people, that doesn't mean that you should bend to their will. And I think that's what I've kind of learned.